It's 11 p.m. You're lying in bed, your phone a cold slab of glass in your hand. The blue light is burning your retinas, but you can't look away. You are scrolling through their profile. The person who broke your trust, the partner who betrayed you, the business associate who stabbed you in the back. You see them smiling in a new picture. You see them celebrating a success that feels like it was stolen from you. With every image, a hot spike of acid shoots through your gut. Your pulse quickens. Your mind becomes a frantic courtroom, replaying the evidence, cross-examining ghosts, passing a sentence that will never, ever be served. You are a prisoner in your own skull, and the warden is a memory you keep feeding. This is not strength. This is a pathetic, digital self-flagellation. You are rehearsing your own pain over and over, hoping that if you bleed enough, someone else will feel it. They won't. They are sleeping soundly. You are the only one awake in your private hell. This is the enemy. Do not mistake it. The enemy is not the person. The enemy is not the act itself. The enemy is the resentment. It is a poison you mix for someone else, but you are the one who drinks it, day after day. It is a cancer of the soul that metastasizes into every corner of your life. It consumes your focus. It eats your discipline. It turns your vast, untapped potential into a simmering, impotent rage that serves no one and destroys only you. You think you are holding on to the past for a sense of justice. You are actually allowing the past to hold you hostage, strangling your future with the dead hands of yesterday. The 99% of men will live here for years. Some will live here for the rest of their lives. They will let a single act of betrayal become the defining chapter of their story. They will sacrifice their mission, their peace, and their personal sovereignty, all to keep a wound fresh, because the pain feels more real than the emptiness of moving on. The 1% man, the operator, the executor, does not have this luxury. He understands that his focus is his only real currency, and he refuses to spend it on a ghost. He has a doctrine for this kind of warfare, a protocol for the soul. In 6 minutes, I will give you the 5-step protocol to alchemize betrayal into fuel. But first, you need to understand the psychological trap of the Zeigarnik effect, because without it, the memory of their actions will own you forever. This isn't about forgiveness. This is about command. You think you are resting. You are rehearsing failure. Every second you spend in that mental loop, you are training your brain to be weak, to be reactive, to be a victim. You are building a neural superhighway to a destination called wasted life. The world does not reward men who are experts in their own victimhood. It rewards men who are masters of their own minds. You are being controlled by an echo, a phantom limb that still aches long after the arm was severed. This feeling of powerlessness, this shame of being stuck while the world moves on, it is the consequence of a battle you have not yet chosen to fight. The war is not with them. The war is against the weakness inside you that allows their memory to dictate your actions. You can close this now. Go back to scrolling. Let them live in your head rent-free for another night, another week, another year. Let them continue to dictate your emotional state from a distance. Or you can stay, listen, and learn the protocol to permanently evict them and reclaim your sovereign mind. The choice is yours, but understand that inaction is also a choice. It is the choice of the herd. It is the choice to remain a reactor, not an actor. It is surrender. You hold a false belief, a delusion so deeply embedded in your psyche that you mistake it for truth. You believe that if you could just get revenge, receive an apology, or force them to understand the pain they caused, you would finally be free. You believe the solution lies with them. This is a strategic error of catastrophic proportions. It is the reason you are still a prisoner. The reason their ghost still has command over your present moment. You are looking at the wrong battlefield, fighting the wrong enemy, and guaranteeing your own defeat before the first shot is even fired. The reason you cannot let it go is a precise, documented psychological mechanism. It is called the Zeigarnik effect. In the early 20th century, psychologists observed that waiters could remember complex orders perfectly until the bill was paid. The moment the task was complete, the information was purged. Your brain is a task completion machine. It is hardwired to obsess over incomplete processes, open loops, and unfinished business. A betrayal is the ultimate incomplete task. It's a story without a resolution. a debt without a payment, a question without an answer. So your mind, the loyal and stupid soldier it is, replays the event endlessly. It runs diagnostics on the past, searching for a conclusion that the other person will never, ever provide. You are waiting for an external event to close an internal circuit. This is a design flaw in your own wetware, and it is being exploited not by them, but by your own undisciplined mind. You think replaying the event gives you control. It does the opposite. It gives the memory command over you. Each time you indulge the loop, you are not solving the problem, you are rehearsing the pain. You are deepening the neural pathway, making the thought easier to trigger and harder to escape. It's like walking the same path in a forest over and over, carving a trench so deep you can no longer see a way out. This cognitive trap consumes your most valuable resource, your focus. Every ounce of mental energy spent on that loop is energy stolen from your business, your training, your mission. You are funding your own prison with your own life force. You are sacrificing your future on the altar of a past you cannot change. This is the very definition of a reactor, a man tossed about by circumstance, not an operator who commands his own internal state. A sovereign man does not surrender his mental citadel to a memory. Remember the 5-step protocol I mentioned? The one to alchemize this poison into fuel? We are almost there. But there is one more enemy you must identify first. Otherwise, the 3rd step of that protocol, the extinction, will be nothing more than empty theater. It will fail, and you will be right back in this cell within a week. You must understand the philosophical armor required to make the protocol stick. Without the correct doctrine, the best weapon in the world is useless. You have now seen the bars of your cage. You understand the lock. Stay with me, and I will show you how the Stoics forged the key 2,000 years ago. Do not look away. The men who built empires, the men who commanded legions, the men who shaped the very fabric of history understood a principle you have forgotten. They understood that the theater of war is not out there, in the world of flesh and steel. It is inside your skull. And right now, you are losing. You have surrendered the most valuable territory on earth, your own mind, to a ghost. You have allowed the memory of another person's weakness to become your defining strength. You replay their actions, you study their motives, you grant them a power over your emotional state that a king would envy. This is not just a strategic error, it is a complete abdication of your command. It is the willing acceptance of slavery. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the known world, faced betrayal on a scale you can barely imagine. His generals plotted against him. His court whispered behind his back. His closest advisors proved to be snakes. His response was not to burn the world down in a fit of rage. It was not to descend into a spiral of suspicion and paranoia. His response was a cold, brutally effective doctrine. In the private journal he kept not for you, but for himself, he wrote a direct order. Quote, _0 __. Read that again. Not forgive, not forget. Become unlike. This is not a gentle suggestion from a philosopher in a toga. It is a combat directive from a warrior emperor. It is a strategy for total psychological dominance. When you are consumed by resentment, you are becoming exactly like the person who wronged you. You are allowing their low-resolution, emotionally incontinent behavior to set the frequency for your own life. You are matching their weakness with your own obsession. They threw a stone into the water, and you have chosen to spend the rest of your life studying the ripples, effectively drowning yourself in the process. You think you are punishing them by holding on to your anger. You are not. You are building their monument inside your own head, and you are sacrificing your precious, finite focus as the raw material. Remember the 5-step protocol I promised you? The one that alchemizes this poison into pure fuel? We are almost there. But you must understand this central doctrine first. Without this internal shift in command, the protocol I give you will be useless. It will be like handing a high-powered rifle to a man who refuses to aim. The weapon is only effective when the operator has a clear target, and your target is to become the polar opposite of the person who occupies your thoughts. You must become so disciplined, so focused on your mission, so completely sovereign in your own frame that their memory becomes irrelevant static. The moment of truth arrives a dozen times a day. It's when your thumb hovers over their social media profile. That is the front line. The 99% of men will surrender. They will click. They will scroll. They will pour another shot of poison down their own throat and call it staying informed. The operator, the 1% man, recognizes that urge not as a temptation, but as a signal. It is an alarm bell telling him to turn 180 degrees and engage a real target. He puts the phone down. He executes 10 push-ups. He opens the book. He makes the sales call. He uses the enemy's psychological attack as the trigger for his own disciplined advance. He becomes unlike. Most men will let a past betrayal define their entire future. They will build a life around a wound. Which one are you? What is the one mission-critical task you have neglected because you were too busy replaying their failure in your head? Tell me in the comments right now. I read every single one. That fire you feel is not the problem. Your lack of control over it is. If you want to learn how to weaponize that anger, how to turn it from a wildfire that burns you alive into a forge that builds your future, make sure you are subscribed. That is coming next. Now, prepare yourself. The doctrine is established. The mindset is calibrated. The protocol for your liberation is next. These are your orders. Follow them without deviation. This is not a suggestion. It is a protocol for reclaiming sovereign command over your own mind. The enemy has occupied your territory for too long. Today, you execute the eviction. First, the inventory. You will take a physical piece of paper and a pen. Do not use a screen. The physical act is a critical part of the process. At the top of the page, you will write down the name of the person who betrayed you. Beneath it, you will describe the specific betrayal in a single, cold, factual sentence. This is not a diary entry for you to bleed your emotions onto the page. It is an intelligence report. You are a field commander assessing a tactical situation. The purpose of this action is to externalize the chaos. Right now, the betrayal is a ghost haunting every corner of your mind. An undefined emotional fog that saps your energy. By writing it down, you drag it out of the shadows and into the light. You turn it from an overwhelming feeling into a single, manageable data point. You take the shapeless monster of your resentment and you give it a name and a location. You put it on the map so you can target it. This is the first step to regaining operational control. Second, the audit. Below the first sentence, you will write a second sentence. This one is about you. You will identify one specific weakness in your own character, your own judgment, or your own lack of boundaries that created the opening for the betrayal to occur. Were you naive? Did you ignore clear red flags because you craved approval or validation? Did you fail to enforce your own doctrine? This is not an exercise in self-flagellation. It is a strategic after-action review. You are not blaming yourself for their action. You are taking absolute ownership of your own defenses. A fortress is only as strong as its weakest point. This step shifts the locus of control from them, where it is useless, to you, where it is powerful. It converts a passive wound that makes you a victim into an active lesson that makes you a warrior. You are analyzing the breach in your wall not to feel shame, but to learn how to reinforce it so it never happens again. This is the foundation of a truly sovereign mind. Third, the extinction. You will take this piece of paper outside. You will find a safe place and you will burn it. You will watch the paper curl, turn black, and crumble into ash. Watch the smoke rise and disappear. Do not record it for social media. Do not tell anyone you are doing it. This is a private ceremony of severance. It is a ritual of command. This physical act provides a definitive symbolic endpoint. Your subconscious mind, the part of you that is running the obsessive loop, does not respond to abstract logic as powerfully as it responds to concrete action. You are giving it an unmistakable signal. This incomplete task is now complete. The file is closed. The Zeigarnik effect is disarmed at its source. You are cauterizing the wound. Fourth, the retasking. Immediately after the paper is ash, you will take out your phone, but not to distract yourself. You will open your calendar. You will schedule one difficult, productive task that you have been avoiding. It could be a brutal workout, finishing a project proposal, or making that difficult phone call. You will set a non-negotiable 24-hour deadline. The mental and emotional energy that was fueling your resentment is immensely powerful. If you do not give that energy a new mission, it will default to its old destructive pattern. Nature abhors a vacuum. You will now redirect that vast reservoir of power. You will take the energy that was being used to burn down your own citadel from the inside, and you will channel it into building your empire. This is the core of the entire protocol, turning poison into fuel. Fifth, the ambush. The memory will try to ambush you again. It will happen tomorrow or next week. In a moment of weakness, it will try to re-establish its beachhead in your mind. When it does, you will execute an immediate physical override. The moment you feel that familiar spike of resentment, you will stand up. You will walk into a different room. You will drop to the floor and perform 10 push-ups. No hesitation, no negotiation. This action creates a new neurological link through a process called Hebbian learning. You are physically rewiring your brain. The old pathway was trigger leading to pain. The new pathway you are forging is trigger leading to discipline. You are training your nervous system to associate the memory of betrayal, not with weakness, but with an immediate act of self-mastery. You now have the protocol to alchemize betrayal into fuel. But the Zeigarnik effect can only be permanently defeated with one final mental command. You now have the protocol, the 5-step sequence to dismantle the psychological prison built by another's weakness. I promised you the method to alchemize betrayal into fuel. I promised to show you how to disarm the Zeigarnik effect that held you hostage to an incomplete narrative. The loop is now closed. The weapon is in your hand. But a weapon is useless to a man who hesitates. The final command is not a step in the protocol. It is the switch that makes the entire system operational. It is the reframe that turns a scar into armor. Listen closely. Their betrayal was not an injury. It was an intelligence report delivered directly to your command center. It was a stress test on your entire operation, revealing critical vulnerabilities you were blind to. You thought you were being attacked. You were actually being audited. The pain you feel is not the sting of a wound. It is the burn of a diagnostic tool showing you precisely where your defenses were weak, or your judgment was compromised, or your emotional firewalls failed. This was not a wound. It was a whetstone sent by a universe that has no interest in your comfort, only in your strength. It was sent to sharpen you, to force you to forge a harder edge for the far greater battles that are yet to come. The 99% see betrayal and feel the shame of being a victim. The sovereign operator sees betrayal and feels the cold clarity of a necessary upgrade. The system is now stronger because the weakness has been identified and purged. The next 24 hours are the most critical phase of this entire operation. Your brain is a creature of habit. For weeks, months, maybe years, it has walked the well-worn path of resentment. That path is a superhighway in your neural architecture. The protocol I have given you is a new path, freshly cut through a dense jungle. It is narrow, it is difficult, and every instinct in your body, every chemical signal screaming for the familiar dopamine hit of outrage, will try to pull you back to the superhighway. Every time you execute Step 5, the ambush, you are taking a machete to the jungle. You are widening the new path. Every time you resist the urge to check their profile, you are throwing up roadblocks on the old highway. The old connection weakens from disuse. The new connection strengthens with every conscious, disciplined repetition. This is not philosophy. This is biology. You are physically rewiring your own brain. You are seizing the means of mental production. Most men will try the protocol once, feel a moment of relief, and then allow the jungle to grow back. They will surrender the new territory because holding it requires discipline. It requires command. They will choose to remain a prisoner because the cage is familiar. You must decide right now if you are one of them. This is the final command. This is how you burn the old maps and make the new reality permanent. You must make a public declaration. Not for them, not for anyone else, for you. Psychologists call it the principle of commitment and consistency. When you state an intention publicly, you create an unbreakable contract with yourself. Your subconscious mind will fight to align your actions with your stated identity. We are going to weaponize this. We will use the digital world not as a source of distraction and pain, but as a place to forge a covenant of personal power. This is your flag planted on conquered ground. Type this exact phrase in the comments below. I am the after. This is not just a phrase, it is a statement of identity. You are not the man who was betrayed. You are the man who came after. The man who was forged in that fire. The man who used the poison as fuel. The man who is now harder, sharper, and more aware than the version of him that was weak enough to be broken. Typing this phrase is your digital seal on a new doctrine. It solidifies your commitment to the protocol and makes you accountable for leaving the past buried in ash. You are no longer defined by the event. You are the outcome. You are sovereign. Execute.